Chris, what is our third main topic today?
Our third topic comes from Eric Thomas. After Gunn announced Swamp Thing yesterday, James Mangold has already expressed interest in working on it by posting a comic panel. Do you think Mangold will actually be chosen for the job? Has he maybe already been chosen? And do you think he's the right choice for it? Mangold said in December that his work on Indy 5 is 99% done, so he is ready to start work on another film.
All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And yeah, listen, James Mangold is, I'll just say it straight up here. He is one of the best directors working today. Now, I'm not saying he's Spielberg. I'm not saying he's Scorsese, but James Mangold is flat out one of the best directors working today. And he's done it in a multiple, one of the things I really like about my directors, like a Spielberg, is directors who can walk into multiple genres and dominate and just crush it in multiple genres. Whether you're talking about, Ford v. Ferrari, which is just incredible.
Incredible.
Whether you're talking about obviously one of the greatest comic book films of all time in Logan. I think that's the top 3 greatest comic book movie ever made of all time. He's now doing Indiana Jones, and I'll put money on the fact that he's probably going to crush it as the director. I think he's probably going to crush Indiana Jones. I really do. I think he's going to do great at that. So the question becomes, who's directing this Swamp Thing thing? James Gunn put out the announcement yesterday about all these upcoming movies, and a big one of them is, of course, Swamp Thing. That's gotten a lot of people excited about. Well, James Mangold, while they announced no actual director yet, James Mangold got on social media, and if you scroll down there a bit, Jonathan,
I got it
he
here.
all he did was he simply tweeted out a picture of Swamp Thing. And that was it. And it got everybody
with a quote. I mean, it's part of that panel.
Oh yeah, from the panel. And do you remember what the panel said? I didn't.
Not verbatim, but
I couldn't remember. I was too small.
Reading.
I didn't read it. So he put that out. And now further to that, Deadline has reported that they have heard that James Mangold is in talks to direct Swamp Thing. The director of, I think, one of the best modern, I think the best Western post Unforgiven, 3:10 to Yuma. He directed a tremendously underrated Tom Cruise movie in Night and Day. I loved Logan. Ford v. Ferrari is fantastic. Walk the Line is one of the best musical biopics of all time. Girl Interrupted won Academy Awards.
Copland gave Stallone one of his best performances.
I think that is Stallone's most underrated movie. He directed that. This is the guy. And for him to be excited, the guy who directed Logan and all these other wide variety of films, to be able to come up and say, I want to do Swamp Thing, and is posting social media about it. Rob, the first guy I thought about this morning when I saw this was you. I know you're super excited about a Swamp Thing. How do you feel then about as somebody who's excited about Swamp Thing, how do you feel about the possibility of James Mangold directing?
Well, first of all, I thought it was going to be, James Wan would direct it, but it makes sense to me. Here's what we are going to have fun with as fans. No one understands the uses of social media at the studio level better than James Gunn does. Whenever something like this comes out, if a guy like James Mangold is tweeting a picture of Swamp Thing, he's not saying, "Oh, look at me, I would love to have that job." This is already something that's way down the line. They've been having so much fun leading up to this announcement yesterday. James Gunn posting pictures of himself reading Superman comics, at the breakfast table. They know exactly what they're doing. And I think the fact that there was a Deadline story saying James Mangold is, remember now, it's not his next movie. His next movie is his Dylan biopic. I think Timothée Chalamet is playing Bob Dylan. But remember that the first one of these DC movies ain't coming out till 2025. So Mangold will spend 2023 making his biopic, which will probably come out in 2024, start in on Swamp Thing, and then it'll come out in 2026.
Yeah,
probably.
Because Gunn mentioned that they're going to do 2 feacher films a year. We already know one of the 2025 ones is going to be Superman Legacy.
I would imagine the second's going to be Batman.
And the second one might be Bold and the Brave.
Brave,
and that will give us Man-Thing there. Again, let's go to my screen on this for a second, Jonathan. I just want to go over this. This is James Mangold's resume, okay? I'm not familiar with Heavy. Which one is that? I can't remember that. That was the first film that he directed.
I believe it's a movie, if I remember, about a person who's a kid who's very heavy.
All right.
Yeah.
But Copland, Stallone, this movie, Ray Liotta's in this one, if I'm not mistaken. This movie is fantastic. It's an absolutely fantastic film. Not something unlike anything you would have thought you'd see Stallone in. You guys see that one. Girl Interrupted, again, Angelina Jolie won her first Academy Award for Girl Interrupted.
By the way, look at in terms of genres. He's working in totally different genres on each film. And Kate Leopold is
Leopold, which, by the way,
delightful romantic comedy.
Is a delightful romantic comedy. I really enjoy it. I mean, it's not a top 10 greatest romantic comedy. Kate Leopold is a really Hugh Jackman watching Wolverine.
Would you be surprised to know I own it on Blu-ray?
I would not be. I thought you were going to say you were like maybe an editor on it. So again, Kate Leopold, which I think is great. A lot of people I know really like Identity.
I do. I love Identity. It's great.
He directed, again, Walk the Line might be, arguably, some people might feel it's the best musical biopic of all time. I never saw the TV series Men in Trees, so I can't speak to that. 3:10 to Yuma, my favorite Western since Unforgiven. Again, a very underrated Tom Cruise movie, Night and Day. Then a couple of TV series. The Wolverine might be the weakest thing he's done on his list. But then he followed up the Wolverine with one of maybe the greatest comic book movie of all time with Logan. And then he did the absolutely fantastic Ford v Ferrari. And you're talking about, this is the guy that could be coming in to do Swamp Thing? Are you effing kidding me? If you don't get excited about this, I don't know, man. Anyway, Chris, you hear about this. What would you think about a James Mangold doing a Swamp Thing?
Oh, I'm so into this. And an hour ago, The Hollywood Reporter said that he is in talks to do this. But if it is that whole origin story, I think James Mangold could do excellent work with this because it is a gritty, horrifying story. A man is shot, he's murdered, he becomes one with the swamp and the vines take over him and are imbued with his memory. Like, that's fun.
It's the upside of the cordyceps.
I was going to say, he's the origin of the cordyceps virus in Last of Us. We're going to tie it in.
This is the crossover we need. I think he'd do such a cool job with this. And, you know, he gets great performances out of people, too. I know we're talking about Swamp Thing, but this really is a really potentially cool character study as well. You know, Alec is a really, really fascinating character who goes through a lot, and the tie-ins too to the greater DCU are so tremendous, bringing in Constantine and everything as well, bringing in the Dark Justice League. I think he's somebody who could really harbor in something awesome here.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? One of the most established directors out there today, one of the most exciting directors, don't forget he's got Indiana Jones coming out, is circling to do Swamp Thing. It's not a lock, but again, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, others are saying he is actually in talks. He's posting pictures about it on social media, which means it's more than just an idea. He's one of the best directors out there right now. How do you feel about that? Maybe you were thinking they should have gone like with a horror director, but as Kevin Feige once told me, good storyteller's a good storyteller. Whatever you guys think about this, jump down to the comments section below and leave your thoughts there. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2023, why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for your phone bill? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save money this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton, with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. Guys, I have told you before that when I was on one of the major phone carriers, I was spending literally 3 times as much every month, and switching to Mint Mobile couldn't have been easier. So for people just looking to save some extra money this year, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily in just minutes with eSIM. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea.